Hi guys, today's video is on honor. Um, you know, as I was growing up, I was taught that you honor certain people, and the first people you honor are your family, your parents. Just like the Ten Commandments say, honor thy father and thy mother. I'm not getting biblical on you, but I'm just saying that's part of the Ten Commandments. When a child is growing up, people think it's cute for them to do certain things. And they say, oh, he's only a child, or oh, she's only a child, give her a break. Well, that's true, they are only a child and they should play. But people say, authority people say, or people of great wisdom that they say, children start to learn their habits in the first 5 years of their life. And for anyone to say, well, I'll just let them do what they want to do now, and I'll correct it later. It isn't going to happen. You have to have them build it. It's like the old thing, you sow a seed, and then you wait for the harvest. And when I say that is that you're sowing a seed in the child's life to learn how to honor and respect people. Now, if you allow them to get away with anything, do anything they want, they don't understand it. We raised 3 boys, and the 3 boys always, I guess we did good, because in the beginning, we'd go somewhere and people would say to us, wow, 3 boys, look how they're just sitting there, so nice. And it wasn't like that we did anything special. We just showed them the proper way to respect their surroundings and honor the people that they're around. My boys always joke around with me, and they say, well, they'd be playing out in the yard with a bunch of kids in the neighborhood, and I'd come home from work, and the kids would scatter. Now, I never yelled at the boys, I never did anything in front of them. It's just that the honor and respect that I got from my boys spilled over onto the kids in the neighborhood. So it was amazing how it worked. You can't be buddy with a child that's growing up. I want to be his bud. No, you only have one chance to be a good father, and that's when they're first growing up. When they're from 0 to 5 years old, they start learning the tricks of the trade. And when I say tricks of the trade, there's a lot of them that will know that if they cry, they'll get what they want. And it's a fake cry. We all know it's a fake cry. But a lot of times they can sit there and throw a tantrum or hold their breath or whatever it might be. And they think that they're fooling us, but you as parents will give in sometimes because you don't want the screaming or you don't want the embarrassment when you're out somewhere. So if you start from the beginning and you start training them the way they should be, the thing of reaping and sowing comes into effect, because you're planting a seed in their life, and then the harvest comes by them when what you taught them blossoms into a great young man or a great young lady, because it's a harvest of what they've learned. Now, it may be, you may not see it right away. It might be when they're 18 or 20, 25, 26, 35, but the harvest comes. It's a great moment. I sat down my oldest, and who is almost 40 years old now, and I said to him, this was about, I think when he was 9 or 10. I said, everything I'm telling you now, you might think, oh, Dad, you're full of baloney. You don't know what you're talking about. I said, but I'd like you to remember that and come back to me when you see that what I said really was something. It's a great feeling, because he did that. He did that. So it gives you the feeling that the seed that you planted grew, it harvested, it turned into something tremendous. I get more compliments on my young men, my boys, from people. They just, maybe I'm, biased because they're my guys, but I feel great. I'm very proud of my men. So this is for young men, and actually young ladies that are starting a family. You only have one chance, and if you are married and one of the other spouses has grown up with a kind of a dysfunctional family, as far as the parent saying, you do whatever you want to do, I don't care. It's a little difficult then to raise that child in the direction they should be, but you can only do what you can do. It's important to instill in them the best benefits of their life. And, like I said, don't be buddies with them. You can play, you can have a good time, but they have to know what is right and what is wrong. It kind of takes it into the boundaries. I always say to people, you have to let the child know their boundaries. And it comes along with this honoring and respecting. You wouldn't let your child put their hand on the stove. It's boundaries. You wouldn't let them handle a knife and hurt themselves. It's boundaries. You wouldn't let them walk into traffic. It's boundaries. So why not work with them to know the right from wrong, honor what you're saying, and respecting others. Today, and it's a prime example of what we're seeing across the country now. You got Twitter, and you got FaceTime, you got Facebook, you got all these different social media platforms where people can say whatever they want to say. There's no respect. And it starts at the top, at the highest level of our government. You say what you want to say, you call people names. There's no respect. It starts out where you think that they possibly would never do that, but then it breaks loose. It releases, like they say, release the hounds. The doors are open. Now the people that have always wanted to do things because they weren't brought up right, and they didn't respect, there's no honor. Now they jump ahead and say whatever they want to say, they act the way they want to act. And, what happens? It's called a generational curse. You've got your child there, and they're listening to you say things. They're listening to you cuss a blue streak, and then they repeat it. And a lot of people think, "Oh, that's funny. Did you hear what he said?" No, that's not funny. Because if they're doing it now, they'll do it when they're older, and you passed on to them all the bad habits that you had, and now the honor and respect for adults, for the clergy, for police officers, for firemen, for their teachers, goes out the window. They don't care because you don't care. So all I'm saying is have a little bit of respect and honor taught to your kids. Show them from the beginning the respect that they should give to adults, to people of authority, and they'll love you more for it. Kids don't like to be just let loose. Once they get that instilled in them, it's a better, well-mannered child, a happier child, and they might throw a tantrum every now and then, but you can't let them think that throwing a tantrum, they will get whatever they want. So I was sort of rambling on this talk, but it's a thing that I'm passionate about. And so let's just remember that you start from the beginning with the child, and hopefully by the time they're an adult, they grow up to be a great, great person. Again, thank you very much. If you have any comments about my video,